And welcome back. Okay, Buffalo. Okay. Now listen. Why don't you help us out up here a little bit? All right, repeat after me. We have to do it. No one circles the wagons. Ah, you're coachable. Well, if that is true, what you all just said, then no one circled down the field like Andre Reed. Need a 7-yard catch on 3rd and 6? Got it. Need a 5-yard pass turned into a 50-yard touchdown? Got it. You might need 3 second-half touchdowns in a playoff game down 35-3 to help out the greatest comeback of all time. Got it. He was your man. As a Bill, 941 catches, over 13,000 yards, 87 touchdowns, 221 games, all team records, all. When they retired, the combination of Jim Kelly and Andre Reed was the NFL standard for most receptions, quarterback, receiver. Now, of course, none of this, what we just said, is news to his presenter. His Hall of Fame coach of the Bills teams that played in 4 straight Super Bowls, Marv Levy.
Andre was raised in eastern Pennsylvania, north of Philadelphia. No one knew a lot about him as a football player. Heck, he was the 7th guy that the Bills picked in the draft in 1985. He had gone to a small college program at Kutztown. Yet the scouts had seen him. They liked his talent.
Across the middle, caught by Reed.
But no one ever dreamed they would reach the heights that he did finally.
Touchdown, Andre Reed!
Andre Reed may not have entered the league with an eye-catching resume, but he soon demonstrated qualities that were tougher to measure.
It didn't take long for me to realize, once I was there coaching Andre, that, wow, this guy has talent galore, and he continued to make it grow and grow all during the time that he was there. Andre had speed.
Andre Reed, and Reed just outraced everybody.
He had good hands.
Reed, touchdown!
But he had some remarkable qualities that went beyond that. I don't believe in the history of the game there was ever anybody better or more courageous coming across the middle than Andre Reed. I gave him the nickname Yak, and it wasn't because he talked a lot. It was yards after catch.
You will never see a better play by a wide receiver than the one Andre Reed just made.
He was fantastic in that regard. Very unique, even among the great receivers that have played this game.
Of all the wide receivers in NFL history, few have ever experienced a game quite like the one Reed had on January 3rd, 1993.
We played in a game which is called the greatest comeback of all time. There was a lot of players very instrumental. No one's role is remembered to the degree that Andre's was in that game. In the late rally, catching 3 touchdown passes.
The Bills have scored to take the lead.
The comeback was Reed's career in microcosm. 8 catches, 136 yards, 3 touchdowns. And in the face of long odds, a fiery resilience.
Was Andre Reed a competitor? You betcha.
Every play, 100%, man. That's how it's going to take.
As everybody knows, we went to the 4 straight Super Bowls and didn't win any of them. For the players to come back from the crushing disappointment of losing and to fight their way back into the game again is a tribute to their character, and certainly an integral part of that character was Andre Reed. He would never give in, never surrender.
The tough and dependable playmaker finished his career 3rd all-time in receptions, while also leading the Bills in that category for 7 straight seasons.
Never once did he say, throw me the ball. He was unselfish. He was the epitome of a team-oriented Hall of Fame football player.
Andre Reed scored!
I am honored to present Andre Reed for enshrinement into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Ladies and gentlemen, Presenting Andre Reed for enshrinement into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Marv Levy.
I first want to give thanks to the creator of all things in this world, all things possible, and blessing me to be here tonight. As I stand here in the midst of the NFL's 95th season, I'd be remiss not to talk about these guys to the right and these guys to the left of me. I pay homage to you guys, because you represent what this game is about. The excellence on the field and off the field. Your sacrifices have laid the foundation that we call football today. I applaud you guys. I consider you brothers for life. You have opened so many doors for me. You're an inspiration to many all over the country, all over the world. Now, I know you know what I'm going to say next. Where would you rather be than right here, right now? Allentown, Pennsylvania, stand up. I know you here. Kutztown, Pennsylvania. Buffalo, New York, I know you here. Canton, Ohio. These are blue-collar towns that dot the roadmap of an amazing journey. They're connected by the blood, sweat, tears, and cheers of a football life I proudly led through the parts of the last 4 decades. It's a life defined by many things, but no more important than hard work. When you grow up in Allentown, PA, you learn the meaning of that pretty fast. Especially in the household of Joyce and Calvin Reed. My brothers Tyrone and Dion, and my beautiful sister Tisha. We're bonded by the values we were taught at home and that we carry with us today. My father, Calvin, was a 5'8" fire plug, a man who worked construction and concrete. I can remember the days before I went to school, I'd look at his hands and they were so clean when he left. But when he came home, I remembered how dirty those hands were. You could strike a match in the middle of his hand. That's how dirty they were. Just as the forms he carried every day. Do as I say, not always as I do. If you put in 100%, you're guaranteed to get 100% out. And patience is a virtue. And believe me, I waited 9 long years for this patience. That's what Calvin would always tell us. That's what he'd tell us 4 kids in the house. He had a lot of sayings. I can't say all of them because we'd be here all night. As I stand here today, experiencing one of the best things in my life on football's biggest stage, all I can say is, Dad, you were right. You definitely were right. I love and miss you so much. I talk to you a lot. I want to thank you for your wisdom. Life's lessons are so tough, but you taught me what the right path was about. On hot summer days when I was younger, while all the kids were swimming in the swimming pool, having fun, in the swimming community pool, my dad would have me and my brothers out there running laps. 95 degrees outside. Did we want to be in the pool? Oh, you darn right we did. We sure did. How long did we run? Till he said stop. One time this woman asked my mom, she said, Calvin, what you doing to them kids? My mom replied, Calvin's getting those kids ready. He's getting those kids ready for life. Thank you, Daddy. You're the best. Now, don't get me wrong now. My mom was a nose-to-grindstone kind of woman, too. She worked 12 hours a day when I was little in the garment factory. She did everything she could to keep the family together. There were a lot of times I walked past that factory and I'd see her at that sewing machine and I'd say, you know what, Mom, one day that sewing stuff is gonna be over with. You're never gonna sew ever again. Mom, I love you so much. You're my inspiration in my heart. Thank you for your unconditional love. Tonight, you're in the Hall of Fame too. I didn't grow up in the easiest of childhoods. For all the great things that my dad did, he had his faults, just like we all do. And my dad's biggest fault, he was an alcoholic. In his life growing up, there was many challenges that anybody would have trouble of conquering. I saw things growing up no child should see. So sports became my safe haven, my shield, my guard. When I was at the Boys and Girls Club in Allentown, PA, which I continue to support today with my foundation, I felt that shield around me every single day. Invincible, I felt. Indestructible, you know it. Fearful of nothing. Me and my brothers we all wanted to take anybody on. Whoever wanted to play. We got you. You want to play us? Let's go. That's how we worked. Any sport, basketball, football, baseball, it didn't matter. And they were important in my life. Not only for my development as a football player, but as a person. And for that, I'm very grateful to them. The same could be said for my Pop Warner coaches, Roy Seacotch and Gene Lagath. They saw this little skinny kid with a big afro, and they believed in me. Thank you for all your unconditional love also. My brother Ty was a star wide receiver at Deerfield High School. I wanted to be just like you, Ty. Wanted to be just like you. That led me to becoming an option quarterback on the JV team at Deerfield High School. That's where I first developed my running skills, because I had to run away from all these big guys. Back then, they used to call me a deer. And as you know, deer spelled backwards is Reed. But sometimes, like any deer, you get caught in them headlights, and you get hit. And I got hit pretty hard. And my mom sometimes would see me laying on the ground and didn't think I'd get up. And she'd look at my dad and say, I wonder if he is going to get up. And of course, my dad is as raw as he is, said, if he gets up, he's all right. My dad was just raw that way. That's how he was. I always did manage to get up, though. And I owe so much to my Deerfield coaches in high school who helped shape me as a player. Bruce Trotter, Larry Little, Ted Phillips, Bill Wood, and Ted Steiner. I love you guys all. Thank you very much. After Deerfield High School, I enrolled at small, tiny Kutztown University. Nobody knows where that is on the map, but they know now. And it was a coach named Gino Calcagni that came to me as we were starting two-a-days and asked me to switch to wide receiver. Yes, it was. Ain't no doubt about that. He said, we need you, man, at wide receiver. We have a quarterback that's a All-American. And that was Greg Gristick. I want to thank Gary Klein, too. He said he taught me everything. He was my quarterback in college, too. And I said, Coach, you know what? Wherever you need me to play, I got your back. And as a player in 1981, my freshman year, the first NFL scout came up to me from the Seattle Seahawks, Walt. And he said to me, you know, we're here watching another player because we're looking at him. He's a defensive back. We think we might draft him or be a free agent. But we're watching you. The next 3 years, we're going to watch and see what you do. Was I scared? Oh, yeah, I was scared a little bit. But I said, okay, I hope you do watch me, because I'm going to be on an NFL roster the following year. As my skills improved as I got older, with the help of my coaching from Ali Anzi and Gino and head coach George Baldwin, more scouts started coming to see me, working me out. It was almost every week after a while. But the biggest thing they wanted to know is, can I, from a Division II school, make the transition to the big time? And my coach said, you know what? Just give them the opportunity. That's all we want in life, is opportunity. And one of the teams that came at me late was the Buffalo Bills. I had no idea where Buffalo was. They said New York. I said New York City. They said no. They said Western New York. I said, okay. That was wild. On that first trip in minicamp, I was on the plane. That's when I met Bruce Smith. The top overall pick in the 1985 draft from Virginia Tech. Bruce was standing there on the plane, all 6'4", 300 of them. Intimidating factor, sunglasses on. What an intimidating presence he was. I introduced myself to him. I said, hey, I'm Andre Reed. I'm the 4th round draft choice. He said, yeah, I know who you are. I said to him, I said, after we land, where are we going to go? I said, are we going to the hotel, you know, because we have to go to the hotel? He said, no, we're not going to the hotel. I said, where are we going? He said, don't worry about it, you're coming with me. It was that day that the big tree became etched in my life. If you guys don't know what the big tree is, you need to go. Bruce, you know what, man? When you were here in 2009, I was sitting right here in the audience as you and Ralph Wilson were getting elected. And you mentioned to me that day that my day was near to joining the Hall of Fame here. I believed you, and now it's a reality. I love you as a teammate. I love you as a friend. And most of all, I love you as a family member. It was also at the Big Trio I met Darryl Talley. Darryl was drafted in 1983 out of West Virginia. And I remember the one thing he told me as a rookie. He said, you know what? You don't even know how excited I am about this year's team. Because I feel right now we have the right players coming in at the right time to put us on the winning path. Darryl, what can I say about you, man? You were the emotional glue to this team. The heart and soul of us. You kept us all in check, man. I don't know how you did it, but you kept us all in check. You said to me, man, when you walk through these doors here in Buffalo, you better check your ego at the door. I believed you, man. Thank you. I love you. I also had a great example to follow as a rookie, Jerry Butler. When I first came into the organization, the coaches said, hey, if you want to be good, watch number 80. He'll teach you how to be a professional on and off the field. And I remember Jerry saying to me, if you play this game the right way, you can play it a long time. Thank you, Jerry. I also learned them lessons from watching some great receivers that came before me, such as fellow Hall of Famer James Lofton. James is more than a teammate to me. I can always confide in him and talk to him about anything. And growing up as a Steeler fan, I admired players like Terry Bradshaw, Franco Harris, my idols, Lynn Swann and John Stallworth. They're up here for a reason. And another example of greatness is a guy that went into the Hall of Fame last year that I admire tremendously. That's Cris Carter. Michael Irvin, I respect you so much. You told me about the wait and you said, be patient, and I believed you, man. I love you. What can I say about this next dude? Squatty. Thurman Thomas. From the first day you sat in One Bills Drive, I instantly knew how much passion you had for the game of football. You displayed leadership beyond leadership, tenacity beyond tenacity, and the will to never quit at any cost, regardless of the situation. Did you speak your mind? Yeah, you did. Sometimes when he shouldn't have. But I always knew one thing about Thurman. He believed in what he said, and he made you listen. Whether it be good or bad. He made me a better player, and definitely made us a better damn team. You held us accountable, man. You held us accountable for everything we did. And one thing that I realized about you as a family, family's important to you. I've known your kids since they were babies. You and Patty have done such a great job with them. I consider you a friend for life, and I love you all. My career didn't take off until something called the K-gun came out of nowhere. Ask Dan Marino about it. An offensive guru named Ted Marchibroda was the guru of this offense. And he knew enough to give the reins to number 12. Allowing him to get back to them USFL days when he used to throw for 9 million yards. I was known for my toughness. I was known for my toughness going across the middle, making that catch, breaking tackles. But the toughest individual I've ever met in my life is Jim Kelly, number 12. How do I find the words, man, to say anything about you? You're the reason why I'm standing here today. Your belief in me that I can get the job done at any time will resonate with me the rest of my life. Every time I looked into your eyes in the huddle, I knew we can get it done. I knew we had a chance to win. Leadership beyond reasonable doubt. And those around you gravitated to your leadership and what you said. You taught us not to quit. We always joked about what I would say every time I left the huddle, whether it was a run or a pass play. Right here, bro. I said that every time. I didn't care if it was a run or a pass. I was open. But we laugh about it now because I wanted the ball. That was my passion. I wanted the ball every single time. I wanted you to be proud of me. And know that you can count on me at any time. You know our old saying, bro. 12 plus 83 always equals 6. Jim, you have endured a lot in your life. The loss of a son, and most recently, your battle with cancer. You're an inspiration to all those you touch. I'm honored to call you my teammate, my friend, and my family member. And now, a fellow Hall of Famer. I love you, man. There wasn't a better teacher than our head coach, Marv Levy. He was the definition of speak softly but carry a big stick. He became our father figure, very much of our father figure. And he became even more of a father figure to me when I lost mine. In 1996, when I lost my father, he told me just take as much time as you need. Marv, I always remember those words. Your compassion you gave me when I needed it the most. You had to deal with so many egos, I don't know how in the heck you did it. And those big words you used, yeah, we needed dictionaries. We actually needed a thesaurus, too. But one thing that we admired about you as a coach is that word respect. We respected the heck out of you. And when you respect your coach, you do anything to win for him. I love you, Marv. I want to thank all my other coaches, my receiver coaches, Kay Stevenson, Hank Bulla, Wade Phillips, Elijah Pitts. These were my other coaches. And my receiver coaches, yes, Joe Daniels, Bob Leahy, Ted Tollner, Nick Nicolau, and fellow Hall of Famer Charlie Joyner over here. Six months ago, the Bills lost their patriarch, Ralph Wilson Jr. To me, the greatest owner in sports history. He lives on here as a member of the Hall. And I want to thank him for giving a small-town kid the opportunity. He's part of one of the biggest legacies in NFL history. And the building behind us bears his name. You gave me a chance to live out a dream, Ralph, that very, very few people attain. I can't thank you enough for that. And Mary, I can see how much passion you have for the game. The same passion that Ralph had. I've come to know you as a friend, and I respect you and love you very much. Oh, yeah, and the Bills will stay in Buffalo, too. I want to thank also the chief architect of our run to 4 straight Super Bowls, Bill Polian. Bill, I'm going to reiterate what Bruce Smith said to me 5 years ago. Very soon, you will be up here on this podium as one of the greatest GMs of all time. I also want to thank the late John Butler, whose strong handshake was just so strong. They had so much confidence in us. And Bill Munson, who I have known for years with the Buffalo Bills organization. And Bill would always ask me if I was in shape every year coming to camp. And I always would answer, do I look like I'm in shape? Bill, I finally figured out why you always ask me that, because you always knew I would be in shape. I also want to thank our trainers, Abe and Bud, our equipment staff, Hojo, Woody, everyone else there who kept me healthy and ready to go every single season. I want to thank all the members of the Pro Football Hall of Fame committee, especially Mark Gaughan, whose due diligence for 9 years got me here finally. I want to thank Vic Carucci. Thank you for your support and especially your friendship. My agents, Jimmy Goldsmith and Steve Foster, I appreciate everything you guys have done and continue to do for me. Finally, I want to talk about my own family. Starting with the first woman I ever loved in my life, who I ever fell in love with first. Cindy, we've been through a lot. It's tough being a football wife. You had to deal with a lot of ego, a lot of push and pull. But through the whole thing, through the good and the bad, you were the rock of that family. And you continue to be the rock today. You gave us 2 great kids. And you were always there to hear my voice when it was needed. Today, you're in the Hall of Fame too. My daughter Auburn, as you try to find your way in peace and life within yourself, I want you to know how important you are to me. Life is full of ups and downs, peaks and valleys. But if you continue to live out your life, forget the past and go forward, there's definitely going to be a pot of gold at that rainbow, the end of that rainbow. We're all in this together, babe. We love you and we're proud of you. My son, Andre, so compassionate, so respectful. I think he learned that from his mom, not me. I watched you grow into a tremendous young man. Over the past 4 or 5 years, you shown me a lot about your character. Whatever you do in life, if you continue to work hard, it's attainable, definitely. I'm proud of you, bro. Love you. As I look back on my career, again, I see a small town kid with a dream of someday being great, making a difference in his community, and most of all, making his parents the proudest people on the planet. Well, I'm here to say tonight, I've done all 3 of those things. No more routes to run, no more passes to catch, no more DBs to beat. The journey is complete. Dad, I can still feel that hand on my shoulder. Thank you, Allentown. Thank you, Kutztown. Thank you, Canton. And most of all, thank you, Buffalo. I love you.
Well, the ties that bind that Buffalo team together are strong indeed, as you saw there with Jim Kelly and Andre Reed, Marv Levy in the bunch. Only Jerry Rice has more receptions on a Super Bowl Sunday than Andre Reed. And when we come back, we go from Western New York, and there it is, the one-more catch between Jim Kelly and Andre Reed.